Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching. In this video I show you how I made this giant popsicle cake. To start off you need to bake a cake of your choice flavour. I've just done a big Victoria sponge in a rectangle pan. Then cut the cake in half and fill it with the buttercream or filling of your choice. I've done Oreo buttercream here and I've got a recipe for that on my channel, so if you want to check it out please do, and the same for the sponge. So cover all the insides and sandwich it together and then just neaten up the edges. Here I've just created my own template of a lolly with the teeth marks out of the top corner. You can obviously make your own template. It's a very simple design to the size of the cake that you're using. I then covered the entire cake with some vanilla buttercream. This is the first crumb coat layer, so just trapping in all those crumbs and all in every piece of the cake, on the top, on the sides. And I also put a little bit of buttercream on the cake board as well that I transferred it to, just to stick down the cake so it didn't wibble everywhere. And then pop that in the fridge for about 10 minutes just to crust over, and then bring it out and put on a second layer of thicker buttercream. Again, I've got recipes for that on my channel, so if you want to check that out please do. So just cover it as best you can, smoothing it out and not letting any of the cake show through. Once that's completed you can then move on to your fondant work. Now I've got about 2 kilograms of fondant here, and it's a mixture of orange and white. I didn't wear a matching t-shirt on purpose, that just happened. And roll it out to about 3 millimeters thick, and also remember just to measure your cake including the sides so that you know your fondant will fit. So now it's just a case of smoothing down the edges with your hands and the top and also the bite marks as well, making sure you sort of leave an impression. And then once you've done that you can move on to smoothing it out a bit more with a fondant smoother, and that'll help keep those corners nice and crisp. So once that's done you just need to cut away the excess fondant. Here you can see I'm just pushing in the fondant smoother just to cut away the fondant, but you can of course use a knife, and I did tidy it up with a knife later, or a pizza cutter. That's always good for doing odd shapes and curves. So just get rid of all that and save that for another project. And then it's time to do the drip. So here I've just rolled out some white fondant to about 3 millimeters thick, making sure I'd measured it so that I knew it would fit across the top of the popsicle. And I'm now just cutting out random sized drips. So just do that all the way along the fondant. And then once that's complete, you just need to pop a little bit of water onto the top of the popsicle cake and then transfer that white drip over. So now it's just a case of painting on or dabbing on a little bit of water to keep the drips in place, fanning out the edges of the fondant there and smoothing it into all the corners of the bite marks and cutting off the excess. So once that's complete, I've just wanted to fill in where the bite had taken it out, so it was like ice cream in the centre of this popsicle. So just putting a little piece of fondant along the edge and cutting off the excess and tidying it up a little. Now it's time for the actual stick. So here I've just got quite a thick piece of fondant. I'd say it was about the thickness of a pound coin, if not a bit more, and just eyeballing how I wanted the actual stick to look. And I'd mixed it was a brown and yellow fondant together to get this colour, and that seemed to work quite well. There you go, just trimming off the bottom part, and then I'll attach that to the board and the cake with a little bit of water. So that's nice and simple, that bit. Okay, now for the finishing touches. I just rolled out 3 different colours of fondant into little snakes and cut them off to make tiny little sprinkles. So here I used pink and yellow and purple, and just randomly place them all over until you're happy, attaching them with a little bit of water. And just to get rid of any cornstarch marks, I just took my steamer and steamed the cake to get rid of any little white marks, and that looked great after it was finished because it made it all shiny as well. Of course that does dry, but still looked good. Okay, and that's it. Quite simple. It's a nice cake to cut for if you've got a big crowd of people. So I hope you liked it and give it a go. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.